Larry Bird is sick of the WNBA maltreating Caitlyn Clark, and after her fight with Marina, he's had enough. Now, Larry's offering Caitlyn Clark options too good to refuse. What did he say? And how did Caitlyn Clark react? Caitlyn Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable. As the number 1 overall pick in the 2024 WNBA Draft, she brought unprecedented attention to the league. Her rookie season saw her shatter records, including the WNBA's single-season assist mark with 337 assists and the most points by a rookie at 761. Caitlyn Clark is unreal. Instantly, her games drove a 170% increase in viewership, with 18 of the 21 games exceeding 1 million viewers featuring her Indiana Fever per ESPN. And you'll want to pay close attention to this part. When Clark missed a stretch of games in June 2025 due to a groin injury, ratings plummeted 55%, dropping from 9.9 million viewers for her games to under 4.5 million. Ticket sales followed suit, with a 30% drop in attendance for non-Fever games. Here's why this matters to you. Clark isn't just a player. She's the WNBA's financial engine, single-handedly boosting franchise valuations by 180% from 2024 to 2025, with the Fever's value soaring 273%. It was unreal. But here's what they're not telling you. Despite her transformative impact, the WNBA has consistently failed to protect or fully capitalize on Clark's star power. In 2024, she absorbed 17% of all flagrant fouls league-wide, a staggering statistic for a rookie HAVG player just 40 games then. This season, the physicality has intensified, with incidents like J.C. Sheldon's eye poke and Marina Mabry's flagrant 2 shove on June 17, 2025, highlighting the league's inability to shield its biggest asset. The WNBA upgraded Mabry's foul post-game, but issued no suspensions, prompting outrage from fans and analysts like Christine Brennan, who criticized Commissioner Kathy Engelbert for not condemning the hit outright. And if you think that's bad, just wait. Clark's $78,066 salary pales in comparison to her $11 million in endorsements, underscoring the league's failure to equitably compensate its top draw. This is where things start getting dangerous. The WNBA's business model has long been unsustainable, relying heavily on the NBA to cover its losses. In 2024, despite record viewership and a $200 million annual media deal, the league reported a $40 million loss, a figure consistent with its history of annual deficits since its inception in 1997. The NBA subsidizes roughly 50% of the WNBA's operating costs, with estimates suggesting $15 to $20 million annually in direct support, per Forbes. And the consequences? They were brutal. This financial dependence has fostered a culture of complacency, where the WNBA prioritizes political stances over profit, alienating the very star who could lead them to independence. But what if I told you that's not the worst part? Instead of leveraging Clark's popularity to grow the league, the WNBA has embraced narratives that marginalize her. Social media is rife with fan frustration, with one post stating, "The WNBA is more interested in checking boxes than making money. Caitlyn Clark is their ticket to relevance, and they're throwing it away." Engelbert's reluctance to single out Clark's contributions, often pairing her name with others like Angel Reese, has drawn criticism for diluting her impact. For example, when asked about Clark, Engelbert frequently references the entire 2024 rookie class, despite Clark's games driving 80% of the league's top viewership. And here's where things go completely off script. This approach has fueled perceptions that the WNBA is more focused on identity politics than capitalizing on a once-in-a-generation talent, a stance that risks alienating fans and sponsors. And that's just scratching the surface. The WNBA's refusal to address Clark's physical targeting head-on exacerbates the issue. In the June 17, 2025 game against the Sun, Mabry's shove sent Clark crashing to the floor, prompting a scuffle involving Fever guard Sophie Cunningham. The league's response, a $400 fine for Cunningham and no suspensions, sent a message that aggressive play against Clark would face minimal consequences. Fans on social media erupted, with one user writing, "The WNBA is fine with Clark getting beat up because it fits their narrative. They don't care about the money she brings in." This incident, coupled with Clark's ninth-place ranking among guards in player-voted All-Star ballots despite 1.3 million fan votes, suggests an internal resistance to her stardom. But here's the part that nobody saw coming. The league's failure to embrace Clark has opened the door for a legend like Larry Bird to step in. This is where things take a shocking turn. Larry Bird knows what it's like to be an outsider in a league that doesn't fully embrace you. When he entered the NBA in 1979, the Boston Celtics star faced skepticism as a white player from small-town Indiana in a league dominated by urban athletic stars. Critics questioned whether his unflashy style, built on fundamentals, court vision, and clutch shooting, could compete. But trust me, it gets even more unbelievable. Bird silenced doubters, averaging 21.3 points and 10.4 rebounds as a rookie, leading the Celtics to a 61-win season and earning 3 MVP awards and 3 championships by 1986. His rivalry with Magic Johnson saved the NBA from financial obscurity, boosting ratings by 52% during the 1980s, per Nielsen data. Bird's journey mirrors Clark's in striking ways. Like Clark, he was a transformative figure whose unique style, long-range shooting, and elite passing changed the game. And here's where it gets really interesting. Bird faced physical play and trash talk, yet the NBA quickly recognized his value, building marketing campaigns around him and Johnson. No team would dream of letting Bird walk away, as his presence filled arenas and drove revenue. But what happens next? You won't believe it. In contrast, the WNBA's treatment of Clark feels exclusionary, as if her meteoric rise threatens the league's established order. Bird, who has publicly praised Clark, reportedly sees her as a kindred spirit, a player whose talent and marketability are being squandered by a league too focused on politics to see the bigger picture. And this is where things go completely off the rails. On June 17, 2025, reports surfaced that Larry Bird, leveraging his influence as a former Celtics executive and NBA icon, offered to back Clark in forming her own WNBA team, a move that would give her control over her environment and brand. While details remained speculative, the proposal aligns with Bird's history of bold moves. He once pushed for front office changes to elevate the Celtics' competitiveness. And the real reason behind this will blow your mind. Bird reportedly believes the WNBA has failed Clark by not protecting her from physical targeting and by downplaying her role in the league's growth. In a rare public statement, he said, "Caitlyn Clark is a talent you build around, not push aside. The WNBA is missing the boat, and it's a shame." Stick around because the next part is huge. Bird's offer isn't just about Clark. It's a challenge to the WNBA's broken business model. A Clark-led team potentially backed by investors drawn to her $11 million endorsement portfolio could operate independently or force the WNBA to reform. Clark's games generate 60% of the league's social media engagement, with her Instagram post averaging 500,000 likes compared to the league's 150,000 per Sportico. A new team under her control could rival the Fever's $95 million valuation, especially given her ability to draw crowds and sponsors. And the final twist. It's something no one expected. Bird's involvement signals that Clark's value transcends the WNBA, potentially attracting NBA investors tired of subsidizing a league that refuses to capitalize on its biggest star. This next part is where it all falls apart. The WNBA's financial dependence on the NBA is a glaring flaw. Since its founding, the NBA has covered roughly half of the WNBA's operating costs, estimated at $15 to $20 million annually, allowing the league to survive despite consistent losses. In 2024, the WNBA's $40 million deficit persisted despite Clark-driven revenue spikes, including a 30% increase in ticket sales and a $200 million media deal. And that's when things took a turn for the unexpected. Rather than investing in Clark's protection and promotion, the league has doubled down on narratives that prioritize inclusivity over profitability, alienating fans who see her as the key to growth. But here's something most people completely miss. The WNBA's focus on identity politics, evident in Engelbert's reluctance to single out Clark and the players' union's defense of veterans like Dejanai Carrington after controversial fouls, has created a perception that the league is hostile to its biggest star. Social media posts reflect this sentiment, with one fan writing, "The WNBA would rather lose money than admit Clark's the reason people are watching." It's a bad business move, and by the end of this, you'll understand why this is so important. The league's refusal to reform its officiating or salary structure. Clark earns just 0.7% of her $11 million market value, risks driving her to alternatives like Bird's proposed team or overseas leagues offering $1 to $3 million per season. And here's where things go from bad to worse. The June 17, 2025 game against the Connecticut Sun crystallized the WNBA's failures. With the Fever leading 88-71, J.C. Sheldon poked Clark in the eye, prompting a shoving match. Marina then escalated the situation, shoving Clark to the floor in a play, later upgraded to a flagrant 2. The WNBA's response: technical fouls for Clark and Mabry, no suspensions, and a $400 fine for teammate Sophie Cunningham's retaliation drew widespread criticism. And if you think that's shocking, wait until you see this. Fans on social media slammed the league, with one post reading, "The WNBA lets Clark get mauled and fines her teammate for standing up for her. This league is a joke." But wait, this next part is what really matters. The incident galvanized Clark's supporters, including Bird, who sees parallels to his own battles. His offer to back a Clark-led team is a direct response to the WNBA's inaction, a call to give her the platform she deserves. And that's where everything clicked into place. The Mabry incident wasn't just a foul, it was a symbol of a league failing to protect its future. And the best part? We're just getting started. Bird's proposal is a wake-up call for a league that's been coasting on NBA subsidies for too long. By offering Clark her own team, Bird is forcing the WNBA to confront its priorities, profit or politics. And what happens next will leave you speechless. Clark's marketability, evidenced by her $28 million Nike deal and 1.3 million All-Star votes, could sustain a new franchise, potentially shifting the WNBA's power dynamics. The league's 180% franchise valuation growth is largely due to her, yet players ranked her 9th among guards in All-Star voting, a sign of internal resistance. You'll want to see this through to the end. Trust me, the WNBA stands at a crossroads. It can embrace Clark, reform its officiating, and prioritize profitability, or it can continue to lean on NBA handouts and risk losing its biggest star. Bird's offer is a lifeline for Clark, and a challenge to a league that's failed to seize its moment. And the craziest part, it's 100% real. The WNBA's future hinges on whether it can finally put business first and build around Caitlyn Clark, the player who could make it a true rival to the NBA. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more. Stay tuned.